What up, y'all? Tina here, man. In this video, let's get into some DC updates. We're going to talk about Static, Batman, and some updated Superman news. Let's get into it.
I talk movies and Marvel, TV shows, rumors, money, and drama. Game of Thrones, universe, and rice too. Vampires, horror, I got you. Subscribe to my page, come roll with me. If you like movies, follow, she dreads me. Movies, follow, she dreads me. She dreads me.
So, since James Gunn has been doing press, he's been asked a lot of questions about Static and if he'll show up in the DCU. Now, my girl Sharonda over at Pay Her Weight was one of the first people here recently that asked him, hey, when will we see Static? And at the time, James Gunn was like, hey, there's some complexities with bringing this character into live action. So, we don't really know. Now, here recently, he was asked again, and he said, hopefully we can kind of figure out a way to do it. I mean, listen, I don't know what the legal issues are when it comes to Static, but I think they're missing out on a potential gold mine by not bringing this character into live action. Disney did an article saying they're having a hard time getting young boys and men into the theater. Well, this isn't just a Disney issue. This is across the board in all sectors. Like, these young boys, young men from the ages of like 12 to 28, they just staying home playing the video games. All right. They not partying. They not bowling. They not going out to the skating ring. They not going to the movies. They not doing nothing. And I think Static can help bridge that gap, especially in young Black boys in that age, to kind of get them out and going to the movie theaters and buying merchandise. I think whoever hits that gap first between him and Miles Morales has the potential to grab a hold of that age group in live action. Now, the good brother Brian over at Spoiler Kings said he had an off-the-record conversation with John Boyega a while ago, earlier this year, and he talked about the idea of bringing a Static project alive. And John Boyega was kind of mentioning, hey, James Gunn may not be able to do the younger version, but the older version might be in question. So, man, it's just quite unfortunate that legal issues are keeping milestone characters like Static away from being on the big screen, but, man, I guess we'll see what can happen. Do y'all think James Gunn and team should figure out a way to get this Static project made or any other milestone comics brought to live action? Leave your comments below. Next up, let's talk about some Batman news. So, The Batman Part 2 is set to start filming in April 2026. A few actors have came out and stated that they've read the script, and it's great. As of right now, James Gunn is still saying that the Batman, Matt Reeves, that's all Elseworld, okay? It's not involved with what he has going on. Colin Farrell, who plays the Penguin, says he won't have a lot of scenes in this upcoming film as far as the character of the Penguin is concerned. And when it comes to the Penguin series, his tune has consistently remained the same. He wants to leave it where it's at. He doesn't think that a sequel needs to be made, and I totally agree with him. No matter how successful the Penguin was, leave it alone. It don't need a sequel. I love the Penguin. I thought it was a great show, but some things just don't have to be milked out twice. Some things can just be great where they are. That's where they messed up with the Joker. They should have just left the Joker where it's at as this own Elseworld standalone film that had $1 billion. Leave it alone. A sequel should have never been made because it was just one of those things that struck lightning. So once again, I love the Penguin series. I do want to continue to visit this world that Oswald is in, but put the sequel to bed. Zoe Kravitz is also rumored to not be coming back as Catwoman in this film. Reporters were told, don't ask about the Batman. She's not in it. She don't know nothing about that movie. Are y'all excited for the Batman Part 2? Who do y'all think the villain is? That's what I want to know. All right, some more little random DC news is being reported by The Wrap that the Swamp Thing project still in development. I haven't heard a lot of updates about it, but apparently they're still working on it. Alan Ritchson also confirms that he has spoke to James Gunn about playing the Batman, and he stated, I don't think the Batman is in my future, but I do think there is something with DC that could come up for me. So Alan has been fan cast a lot on social media about being the Batman for James Gunn, the Brave and the Bold. Looks like James Gunn told him, nah, bruh, that role ain't for you. So that could mean that James Gunn has somebody in mind already to play the Batman. Now, as far as Alan's future with DC is concerned, I don't know who he could be playing. I don't know enough about the DC characters to even begin to fan cast him for somebody else. Who do y'all think Alan should be playing in the DCU? James Gunn was also asked a few weeks ago about if Margot Robbie will continue playing Harley Quinn in the DCU, and he said that that'll be revealed sometime later down the line. Hey, I don't know what that means. You never know what nothing means with James Gunn. Margot Robbie also stated that she hasn't been approached about playing the character, but she does love Harley very deeply. However, she does want to share Harley with other actors. She don't want to lock her down and keep her to herself, and this comes from an interview that she did with Variety. Next up, let's talk about Clayface. So Clayface has started filming, and we've seen pictures and also set shots kind of floating around on the internet. I think Clayface actually has the potential to be one of the most successful movies under James Gunn's reign. The budget is low. It's coming out in the fall near Halloween. I think people can get excited about this film. I think people really just love Gotham City. There was a whole TV show about Gotham City, and then you had The Penguin, was a TV show without the Batman as well, strictly about Gotham City. And now you have Clayface that has the potential to be pretty solid, which is obviously taking place in Gotham. For some reason, people just like Gotham and the characters inside of that world. It reminds me that here recently, like, everybody's talking about how, like, Marvel keeps spotlighting Wakanda and they're not focusing on Black Panther. But it really just hit me right now that DC treats Gotham the same way. We really get to kick it in Gotham and Batman really don't be around. There's been a lot of projects just like centered around Gotham or the villains of Gotham, and Batman don't be involved. We really just be in Gotham kicking it like a regular citizen for real, because the Joker made over $1 billion without Batman being in it. The Penguin series was successful by almost every measure. Batman didn't show up. That whole TV show was just about getting to know the Penguin and the lay of the land of Gotham. So I've always been the oddball in my YouTube peer group community to say, hey, I see why Marvel wants to flesh out Wakanda, because people actually like this country. People actually like some of the characters in Wakanda, very similar to how Gotham is being treated. That damn Gotham TV show was on for like 5 seasons. Somebody had to be watching it. Somebody was keeping it alive. And I don't think Batman showed up but one time in the finale. So I think Clayface is another character that is just helping to build out the mythos of Gotham. I don't know if this is Matt Reeves' Gotham or James Gunn Gotham. We don't know. Only time will tell. But I think it's pretty cool how they're building out the lore of Gotham City. Next up, let's talk about the upcoming DC slate. Airing right now is Peacemaker. The Lanterns is set to debut early 2026. Supergirl right now is sitting on a June date of 2026. And Clayface is aiming for a September release. Now in 2027, we'll be getting the Batman Part 2 and the newly announced Man of Tomorrow film. So that is what the current DC slate is kind of looking like right now. Y'all think this is a pretty solid slate to be rocking with? Finally, let's talk about this Man of Tomorrow news that James Gunn just kind of dropped out of nowhere. All right, a few weeks ago, James Gunn said he was working on a Super Family project. And everybody was like, why are you working on a Super Family project? He was like, yeah, I got the treatment done. And it's very detailed. Now, mind you, he threw some shade at Marvel a couple weeks ago, talking about how Marvel be sending stuff into production and they don't have no script made. Well, he announced that Man of Tomorrow is coming. He already has a release date. They already have filming set up. And he ain't got no script. All he got is a treatment done. That's why I don't like James Gunn, because he just be lying for no reason. Because why you gonna say you don't be sending movies into production without a script, trying to throw shade at Kevin Feige, and we got a movie right now that is about to go into production with no script that you've announced and everything. Yeah, look, just stop calling the kettle black, okay? You rocking like Feige right now at the moment. But to give him some credit, it does sound like this has been something that he's planned out for a while. And what I'm starting to realize is he has a plan for the Superman world of all of it. He knows what he wants to do with Superman. Everything else, I don't know if he got a plan for it. I think he knew he always wanted to do Superman, Supergirl, and now this Man of Tomorrow film, which essentially may be Superman Part 2. I feel like he always knew that this was going to be his roadmap. And this is why I feel like he should just be a creator or a director instead of an executive, because he wants to create movies. I feel like he doesn't really want to be an executive. He wants to be involved with the filmmaking process, the directing, the writing, and the making of the movies. But we're going to see how long he's going to be able to be an executive and creator at the same time without experiencing burnout. It's like, it's impossible. He's not going to be able to keep going this way. Now, I don't know what happened with the plan of Gods versus Monsters. That was the initial announcement of the phase and what this world was going to be. All of them 50 million projects he announced. I don't know what's going on with them, but we do know what he's doing with Superman. Now, when he made this announcement, everybody started tapping in. Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor made a post on social media. Aaron Pierre, he tapped in like, yo, ready to go. The actress playing Hawkgirl, she said ready to get to it. So it seems like all of these people are going to be involved with possibly being in this film. We already know that Millie Alcock as Supergirl will be in the film because he told us weeks ago he was working on a Super Family project, and that included Superman and Supergirl. So the Super Family project that he was talking about is essentially this film. So we know for sure she's going to be in this movie. We're also hearing rumors that Lobo and maybe Peacemaker might pop up as well. Now, I don't like this release in summer of 2027. You're going to run into the same problem you ran into this year. This year, Superman had to compete with Jurassic Park and Fantastic Four. If they keep that summer 2027 release date, they then are going to have to compete with Shrek and Spider-Verse, which is crazy because once again, 2 years from now, I don't think the economy is going to be doing any better. So now you're making a family of 3 or 4 decide which movie do I want to see at the theater and which movie will I wait until it just comes out on streaming. You're going to have a family trying to decide, do I want to see Shrek, Spider-Verse, or Superman? Which one will they choose? Only time will tell. This summer, with all these movies piled on top of each other, nobody hit $1 billion at the box office, not even Jurassic Park. So piling all of these movies into the summer of 2027, it ain't gonna work. Somebody gonna have to move, or this Superman movie is gonna be another 500 million to 600 million box office. Unless they plan on dropping the budget drastically, they cannot keep going at that pace, yo. It's crazy. But how do y'all feel about this new Superman movie? Are y'all excited for it? Do you think Static should be brought into the DCU? And are you gonna go check out Clayface? Leave your comments below. Thanks for hanging out with me. Peace.